Hi, you are welcome to Ayoche Parenting Tips. My name is Blessing and I'm glad to come your way again today. Today I'll be talking about reasons why you should never discipline your child whenever you are angry. When you are so angry, that is never the time for you to discipline your child. So you can never actually discipline your child in love whenever you are so angry. So I'm going to be sharing just 2 or 3 tips on the reason why you should never discipline your child in anger. One of those reasons is you can never discipline your child in love whenever you are so angry. Whenever your child does something that is making you so angry, this thing is heartbreaking to you. It is heartbreaking. It is not at this point where you are so angry that you should be disciplining your child. You shouldn't discipline your child in that state because you can never correct your child in love in that state of anger. And so, whenever you are angry, try to calm down. Whatever that child did, yes, it may be painful because also I'm a parent, right? You will find it so painful and then you are just so angry, but that is not the time to express yourself. Reason is if you try to discipline your child in that state, you will do something you will regret. And I said you will never be able to correct your child in love in that state of anger. Remember, as a parent, the best thing you can do whenever your child does something wrong is to try and correct that child in love. Don't make that child see that correction as a maybe a kind of hatred. And so when you are angry, don't discipline that child because you won't be able to do it in love. You may do things that the child will later be having questions in their hearts about, which you yourself will not later be proud of. That is number one. Number two is whenever you are so pissed off when your child does something, one reason you must never discipline that child in that state is because you will do something you may later regret. You are going to do something you may later regret. Take for instance, a child just did something. You are so pissed off. You just the next thing is whatever if it is you don't even care whether it is cane or whatever it is. You just pick it up and then you use it to hit that child. Like whatever your hands can just pick, whatever you can lay your hands on, you just get it out of anger and then you use it on your child. You end up bruising that child or even vital injuries. At the end of the day, you will be the one to still face the consequences. Number one, you may have to treat that child. Of course, you will spend your money to treat that child. What if you did something more like vital than that, more injury that is more serious? At the end of the day, you still be the one. You rush the child to the hospital, you will be by the bed, bedside of the child, panicking. Why? All because you were angry. So this is one reason why you must never discipline your child whenever you are angry. Whenever you are angry, try to hold yourself. No matter what that child did, try to hold yourself. Because when you don't hold yourself, like when you don't calm yourself before you discipline that child, you will end up doing something you will later regret. Another vital reason why you must never discipline your child whenever you are in a state of, at the apex of your anger is you can kill your child. This sounds funny. Like it sounds funny. It would be like I kill my child. Why? How? But it is true. There is a case of a woman who killed a 3 years old baby. A 3 year old baby. Why? This woman was so angry. And the reason she gave is something you would look at and you say you would just conclude that this woman is mad. Why? This woman said this 3 year old boy usually poo poo everywhere, like all the time. The boy will just poo, the boy will just poo. For me, a mother of such a baby, I think she should seek why the child is pooing in the first place. But this woman just got angry, said the baby is just giving her work all the time with poo poo, littering everywhere with poo poo. And so she got angry, took a very big cane, first of all, flogged that child and flogged the child and flogged the child. At the end of the day, there were injuries on the child. By evening, this baby still pull again, and this woman got angry and just laid her hand, whatever her hand could lay on, I think a plank, and she hit the child, and that was how the baby died. Neighbors came around shouting and like asking questions, but at the end of the day, the baby was already gone. So you must never discipline your child. Learn it. It is like, see, everything we do in this life is through learning. That is why learning is one thing that will remain permanent. There is no age limit in learning. So, as a parent, learn the things that will help you to be a better parent. And one of these things is learn never to discipline your child in an angry state. Whatever that child did, if that thing is so bad that you just want to bounce on that child, the best thing you should do, just restrict yourself. For me, what I usually, in fact, I will advise that you just tell that child, oh, go and leave down there. Go and kneel down. Tell the child to go and kneel down. And after a while, when your mind must have calmed down, you go and meet that child. You discipline that child in love. How do you discipline a child in love? You tell the child, this is what you did and it is wrong. You ask the child the question, you know that this thing you did is wrong. If that child admits that yes, it is wrong, you then said, okay, I'm not going to just let you go like that. I'm going to flog you. I'm going to discipline you. When that child said, okay, if it is a cane you want to use, ask the child to stretch his or her hand. You flog the child on the hand, and then you let the child know, okay, say these words after me. Say, I will never do such things again. You discipline that child in love. You let the child know that this is what you did, and it is very wrong. This is the reason I'm going to discipline you, or this is the reason I'm flogging you right now. And that child will know that, okay, I have actually done something wrong. But when you don't do this out of anger, you just start, beating the child immediately. Many times we end up inflicting injuries on them, which is never right. And of course, you know that if you are in other like advanced countries, you can be punished for it. But then it all boils down to you controlling your anger, learning not to discipline that child in that state. Once you have calmed yourself down, then you can discipline the child. Thank you so much for listening. And like I said, my name is Blessing. On this channel, I share hacks and tips that will be of benefit to you as a parent or as an upcoming parent. If you have anything you would like me to make a video about, please drop that in the comment section. And if you have questions as to what I just shared, or you have contributions, feel free to drop them in the comment section. Thank you so much for watching, and God bless you till I come your way again next time.